Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another Raider Nation Unlimited. I'm your man, Wasted Talent. Good morning to everybody. The game today is at 4:25 EST, 1:25 PST. But we're gonna warm it up here because Lord knows on the East Coast it is cold out there. Damn it. Let's warm it up for the East and the West. All my people who are up, good morning. Listen, as y'all can see, got the old Oakland Raider drip on because, look, man, I'm not new to this. I'm true to this, man. And I just want to say something, man. This has been a wonderful season, bro. Even though there's been a lot of things that have gone down that were not great, the Josh McDaniels debacle and all of this stuff, man. To me, this has been an exciting season, man. At the end of the season, having things to play for up until last week, man. Man, let me tell you something, man. It was a thrilling ride to watch some of the things that have gone on, man. It's been great to watch, Antonio Pierce's maturation as a coach. You know what I mean? And shout out to that brother. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Antonio Pierce. You know what I mean? Shout out to, everybody in the chat today. But guys, it's been a great season so far, man. There's been certain things that we've learned. But the best thing that I think has going on this season is that we're moving onward and upward. We're doing things to get into a place where we're going to start winning. I mean, either which way you slice it, man, whether we hire Jim Harbaugh, whether we keep Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly and keep moving on with the regime we got currently in place, to me, I'm cool either way, man. And I've been saying that, and I don't really want to get too much into that because we're going to get into the game. I haven't really got into the Denver game. My brother Big Mike will be pulling up. Let me give him a ring. But look, man, I think that this organization, this is the pinnacle year in Las Vegas where this thing turns around. Whether it's AP, I have faith that AP can turn this around, and I have faith that Jim Harbaugh can turn this around. But I think that going forward, man, better days are looking up for us, man. There are better days looking up for us. They just got to make a few different two moves, but it was a tale of two seasons, as my brother M85 just said, man. Shout out to my guy M85. Let me give my shout outs and salutations. Yo, my guy Isaiah Randolph is in the place. Adam C is in the place. Good morning, Wasted, to you and your family. Let's win the day. Supporting from Albuquerque, New Mexico, all the way across. Man, shout out to my guy, man. It's 8:03 in the morning, and I'm glad you were rocking with me, man. My guy Redbone is in a place to be. Tired of hearing about Harbaugh already. I feel you. But, listen, bro, it's necessary. You're going to keep hearing about it. He got an important game tomorrow. We got an important game today. You're going to keep hearing about it. Yo, and we definitely have 100 in the room. Over 100 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, Wasted. Tell a friend and tell a friend. What the F is going on? It should be 500 people in here like it normally is. I know it's early in the morning on the West Coast. Shout out to everybody in the place, man. DeMarcus Webb, Keelan Cole season. Shout out to you. Shout out to my guy Pedro Benavidez. Yo, shout out to my guy Isaiah Randolph. My guy Jason Hunter with the first super of the day. Blessings to you, brother, and your family. What I see today is Zeus going off for about a hundo and a tutty, and DA with 2 tutties. Raider Nation for life. Raiders. Shout out to you, my dog. Shout out to you. DJ Lenny Danger's in the place. What is the deal, yo? What is the deal? My guy Isaiah Randolph. Dope coffee mug. Yeah, well, I tried, man. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, man. Is it wasted for head coach? Yo, my guy Devastator's in the place. Alex S is in the place. Panty Raider. Hi. Oh, Panty Raider. A goated YouTube name. My guy JD is in the place. Amazing Blue is in the place. Mark Salter, M85, Isaiah Randolph. Now let's get to it, yo. Said Dope Sweater Homes. I appreciate you, man. My guy, D Mitter. Peace, brother. The quarterback. I like this I like the score to be a shocker. It's Carson Beck. Reese is 1983, New Jersey, in the building. Shout out to you, man. My Jersey brethren is in the place, man. Ruben Nova's in the place. Psychedelic says Supreme was good, man. Appreciate you, dog. DeMarcus Webb, Keelan Cole season is upon us. What's good? That's crazy, man. Shout out to y'all, man. So look, let's get into it, y'all. And before I get into it, let me call Big Mike real quick, man. You see where the F Big Mike is. Let me see where the F Big Mike is at, man. Before we get into it, y'all. Y'all know how the morning show normally goes, man. Y'all know how it normally goes. We're going to call Big Mike. I'm sorry for the dead air, y'all. Big Mike Raider is on the West Coast. We got to wake the big fella up. You guys know I always get it cooking first. Big Mike. Big Mike is in the place. Big Mike, we're on the air live.
Oh, shit. What's up, bro?
What's up? Everybody hits. The big fella is lunching. He is lunching out here. Yo.
Shout out to everybody out there, man.
Yo, shout out. Bro. Nah, it's coolin', man. Nah, I'm rocking. You know, hey, listen, man. Whenever you know, I will warm it up. Don't worry, brother. Whenever you pull up, you pull up. I'm here.
All right, cool.
All right, brother.
Give me about 10 minutes.
All right. My brother Big Mike's got to get going. Now, listen, guys. My guy Redbone. Let's get this thing started. I think you will see this team fight for AP today and destroy these donkeys for our last game at home this season. This will be a statement game geared towards Mark Davis. Now, look, I'm going to be honest with you. No matter what happens this game, no matter what happens, I don't see the outcome of this game determining the direction that Mark Davis is going to go. Now, I know a lot of you have heard that, you know, the Raiders have given the assistant coaches permission to seek other employment. Now, this can mean a few different things. Let me pull a report up. Sorry, y'all. You know what I'm saying? It's early yet. But let me tell y'all something. This doesn't mean what everybody thinks, right? It can mean that the Raiders are definitely hiring somebody else. It could definitely mean that. It also is just something that, you know, I'm going to be real with you. This is a courtesy to all of these assistants. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean that the Raiders are going to definitely move on from Antonio Pierce and hire Jim Harbaugh. The thing is that the Raiders definitely have to make it look like, you know, their hiring process isn't a dog and pony show. So that's one part of it. You know what I'm saying? They have to make sure that they're doing an earnest and honest attempt at hiring the next coach. So if they're going to keep Antonio Pierce and Champ Kelly, they got to bring in people and make it look like, yo, hey, this is not a foregone conclusion. You have a chance to get this job. That's one. Two, you also have to look at it from the caveat of this is not Antonio Pierce's this is not Antonio Pierce's staff. This is Josh McDaniels' staff. This is Josh McDaniels' staff, guys. It is. At the end of the day, Antonio Pierce, if he does get this job, will be making changes. Now, I don't think it'll be Patrick Graham, right? But it's a possibility that a lot of this will change. And it should. Bo Hardegree should not be back as offensive coordinator. Could he come back as quarterback coach? I don't know. But Bo Hardegree should definitely not be our offensive coordinator next year. There are definitely some improvements that can be made. So this might not mean what you think. Now, if it doesn't mean that, and it means that they're going to go in a direction to hire Jim Harbaugh, then I'm okay with that. But the thing about the Raiders is this. When you go big game hunting, sometimes the game gets you. If you go bear hunting and you miss, the bear might kill you. It is what it is. So there better have been some backdoor conversations that Jim's going to take the job. And the funny thing is, like my guy, 831 Raider, how shocked would it be if neither AP or Jim Harbaugh? I would be stunned and I'd be disappointed and I'd be pissed off. The only thing that I'm willing to process is that Jim Harbaugh gets this job or Antonio Pierce gets this job. Or maybe Patrick Graham, right? But at this point, we are kind of in a weird holding pattern. We have the best of both worlds. We have an incumbent coach that we believe in. We do. We have an incumbent coach that we believe in. And we also have a candidate that nobody can say anything about. Now, if I've heard rumors that the Raiders are interested in interviewing Bill Belichick and all of this nonsense. And if they have not learned from the Josh McDaniel thing, how do you think it would be with Belichick being here? I would pray, I would hope and pray that we don't hire Bill Belichick. I will hope and pray. See, that's the thing that I don't want. And I know Bill Belichick is one of the greatest 3 coaches to ever coach this game. But his greatness is behind him. Bill Belichick, at the age he's at now, he's one of the oldest coaches in the NFL. Him and Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll's a little older than Bill Belichick, but Bill Belichick, them is 70 years old. Listen, stay away from the past. We can't live in the past, bruh. We can't live in the past. And let me tell you something. If Mark Davis is talking to Bill Belichick, right? Maybe he's bringing Bill Belichick to the table to sit at the table with him and be that consortium of people who will kind of give him some football knowledge that can help him in that way. Now, when it comes to Bill Belichick, I'm cool with Bill Belichick drafting. Bill Belichick he has not shown me that he's been good at drafting players. Since the days of, Scott Pioli and all these guys, I'm not a big Bill Belichick guy with drafting. You know what I'm saying? And even back in the day with the Browns, he had guys like Ozzie Newsome and stuff that he groomed and everything. I think that Bill Belichick has lost a lot of good people around him over the last 20 years. And I think it shows. And I think he's a bit out of touch with today's player and how to draft players. But maybe that meet with Bill Belichick to be some kind of a confidant. Yo, shout out to my guy Diego in the place to be. He said, "Good." He said, "I need some gosh darn coffee." Yes, Diego, by all means, go grab yourself some coffee. But look, man, I'd be pissed if we brought in Bill Belichick. I'm not even gonna lie to you, yo. My guy, Silver and Black Nation, man, member for 3 months, man. Shout out to you for being a member. Yo, in the off season is where the membership really gives you value. I'm going to be doing a lot of members only shorts, a few members only lives, all my boxing people out there. We're going to be doing members only lives with boxing too. So when the big matches come up, we will be doing some members only lives. You guys will have access to these lives hours before everyone else. You'll be the only ones in the room. So if you guys have not yet joined the membership, join the membership. We have cookies over here at Raider Nation Unlimited, man. My guy, DJ Lenny Danger. I think we should give AP a full season to get his personnel, both in coaches and players, in order. If we see progress, then extend his contract. If we regress, then hire a new coach after the season. See, this is the problem. It's the problem. If you go that route, Jim Harbaugh won't be available. And the problem with that is that Jim Harbaugh is a guy who has turned every situation he's been in, he's turned it to gold. So if you're going to go the AP route, you can't be non-committal with it. You got to make sure that you made the right decision for the next 5 to 10 years of the Raiders. Yeah. That's how crucial this is. Yeah, we got over 230 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Everybody that's watching me on Twitter, if you guys want to, come on over to Raider Nation Unlimited on YouTube at Wasted Talent Raiders. Hit that subscribe button. We on a race to 10,000, bro. I didn't get as active as I normally am. Like at the end of the season, a lot of stuff going on, got sick. And we should have hit that 10,000 mark before the season was over. We want to hit that 10,000 mark. Yo, I think we like 200 something away. Give me at the 10,000, y'all. Appreciate you. Tim Chung, what it is, man. Leaky, what it is, Leaky. This game determines AP's job is on the line if it does. Wait, this game determines AP's job is on the line if he does. Mark Davis should bring in a master offensive coordinator. Listen, to be honest with you, this job has nothing to do with, this man getting his job. Nothing. It really doesn't. Hold on. Big Mike. It says to send a link. Big Mike, it's on your channel, bro. All right, hold on. Let me do the invite. Big Mike, Raider, in the place to be. We're going to start. I didn't want to break the game down until my brother Big Mike pulls up in the place, man. Big Mike will be in the place momentarily. I know you guys have been waiting for the morning crew to show up. I gotta find Big Mike. I gotta find Big Mike on my Instagram because that is where I send my links. Everybody who will get a link from me. Big Mike, it is on Instagram right now, my brother. It is on Instagram. You guys know it's a select few who comes on Raider Nation Unlimited. A select few of people. This is the collective. This is simulcasted from Big Mike's channel and also my channel as well. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, my girl Elite. What's up, Elite? Hey, brother. Paul Edgerton from way across the pond. Chip, cheerio. Paul Edgerton is ahead of us. He's over in England right now. I think it's like, Paul, what do you guys, 3 hours ahead of us? 2 or 3 hours ahead of us, right on the East Coast. It is now 11:18 a.m. here. It is probably 12:1. It's probably like almost 2:30 in the afternoon over there. Shout out to my guy Paul Edgerton. Chip, cheerio. Chip, cheerio. Elite Med Staff and great day wasted. Let the Raiders finish the season with a dub. Shout out to Elite, yo. We got almost 300 in the room, yo. My guy, Big Willie, 35-0. We keep AP and Champ Kelly for the stability. Shout out to my guy, Big Willie. Thank you for keeping the lights on at Raider Nation Unlimited. And I'm going to be honest with you all. This game has no bearing or measure on whether Antonio Pierce will keep his job. If Mark Davis has not seen enough from Antonio Pierce to give him the head coaching job, then that means he has no shot at it anyway. If he, it is what it is. But let's get into this Denver game, man. Listen, I'm going to be quite honest with you, man. This is a Denver team who is going to be trying to get a victory. Now, some say that the Broncos should probably lose this game. Some say the Raiders should lose this game. For the Broncos, what it means is the Broncos will be picking 16th in the draft if they win today. Most likely. Right? But if they lose this game, the Broncos could get up to 11th, where the Raiders are currently as far as a draft position. Now, the Raiders can pick as high as 8th from what I understood last week. Things have changed. We have to see how all that stuff works. That gematria works. We got to wait until everybody plays the day, and then we will see where the Raiders sit based off of that. We're going to break that down a little bit today when Big Mike comes on. Big Mike is the numbers guy. We're going to get into that. But, oh, wow. You guys are way ahead of us, huh? It's 4:25, sir. Well, I'm sorry, Paul Edgerton. Wow. Shout out to everybody over there in Great Britain. Shout out to everybody there in Great Britain. Shout out to my guy, DJ Lenny Danger. But yeah, listen, guys, I'm going to be honest with you, man. When we talk about this game is crucial to how Sean Payton is viewed. This is crucial to the success of him coming in and him finishing above 500. Now, I don't know if I think all these NFL teams are trying to win, man. But if I'm being honest, the Broncos need a quarterback. They're going to jettison Russell Wilson. The only way that they're going to have a chance at drafting a quarterback is actually sitting in the draft. Now, guys, I'm going to bring up a man who needs no introduction. the great and powerful, thick-framed number assassin himself, our resident defensive tackle, defensive end, matter of fact, because he's not that thick frame, but he's definitely a defensive end. Big Mike Raider.
Raider.
Big Mike Raider. Yeah, we got to do the Chris Berman. Big Mike.
Raider.
That's right. Big Mike is angry today. He has
Yes,
the
sir.
black on black crime right now.
Man,
He got the
you know what
steaming
time it
Willie
is.
Beam and Jim Otto.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, shout out to the chat. Let me be the last to say Happy New Year to everybody out there.
Mike,
Let's
you
get
are
it
about
started,
to get
man.
blocked. You're about to get unceremoniously blocked. God, it is almost January the 10th. Happy New Year. It's over. Yo, I gotta send you an episode of Curb Your Enthusiasm when Larry David was mortified about people saying Happy New Year. After Happy New Year.
Oh, man.
My guy Daniel Jones, 6-hour difference from across the pond. I'm originally from Liverpool. Chip cheerio, my man
All
Daniel.
right.
We have a lot. We have a big contingency overseas over here with all of the Mount Shieldmore shows. Man, let me tell you. And guys, before we get to rocking and rolling, rest in peace, rest in power to a former Raider who made a play to seal a Super Bowl for us in 1984. Jack Squarick passed away this weekend. Man, let's pull up Jack Squarick's age. I think he was about like 60 years old, man. You know what I mean? But shout out to him. Raider in peace, man.
Yeah.
Raider in peace, man. Rest
Absolutely.
in peace, my brother. Jack Squarick, he's 64 years old. He was 64 years young, which is terrible, man.
Yeah.
I didn't want to start the show off on a bad note. You know what I'm saying? But y'all, give Jack a rest in peace, man. We're gonna go and we're gonna read some of the things, about Jack's life. And listen, man. You gotta always give it up to the guys from the past. Jack Squarick, a former NFL linebacker who won a Super Bowl title with the Raiders. Played one season with the Miami Dolphins, has died. Las Vegas announced Saturday he was 64 years old. Squarick played 5 seasons in the NFL, 4 with the Raiders. When the team was in Los Angeles, the Raiders remembered him as a central figure and one of football's all-time great plays where he picked off Joe Theismann in the shadow of his own end zone and ran that joint in back in the day. This is the game. This is the pinnacle game where wasted talent became a Raider fan. This Super Bowl right here, because I was a little kid and I was watching the game. And listen, I got family from over that side of of the country, but it would have been very easy for me to be a Giant fan because
That's right.
The Giants were winning back then, and LT was here, and you know what I'm saying. But this is the first Super Bowl that I vividly remember. This is the first one that I vividly remember. And of course, I was a bandwagon jumper like a little kid.
You stuck with one, though. You stuck with one.
Yeah. That's
all right.
That's me. I'm the guy, but see, you gotta understand something. I'm the guy who has my best friend. I've known my best friend since pre-K.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't have a lot of new people. That's why, the Mount Shieldmore formation is something that's not really common to me. I have a lot of people that I'm cool with. I'm the kind of guy where everywhere I go, I pick up people, and people I've always been that kind of guy. But people that I call my friends, bro, I got a handful of friends, and I consider Mike and Graf and Hammer and guys, I consider them friends now.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I'm not normally like that.
Bro, same here. I mean, I got a handful of guys that I can call like friends, but they turn into brothers too. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even a friend thing. It's like, hey, you need anything, you hit me up. We're gonna go all out for you and help you out, and vice versa. And that's just how it's always been. So, man, I'm with you on that one, man. But rest in peace to a Raiders legend within the Raiders realm, and prayers to the family and everything else like that, man.
Yeah, man. Yo, my dog, man, D Mitter, wasted. You go when it comes to football that I've ever listened to. You're about to make me go break out my electric football board. Keep up the great work,
Oh
brother.
man.
Brother, what do you know about the electric? Mike, you know nothing about that.
Bro, I had one.
You had one?
I had one. And there was that one guy that would just
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I remember you used to be able to paint the players and stuff like. Oh
Yeah.
man, yo, I remember I bought one from an older dude.
Yeah.
An older dude. I didn't even buy it. He just gave it to me. It was an older dude. I think he was dating my sister or something like that. I got a sister that's 9 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he asked me to do him a favor, and he gave me his electric football board. I already had one. He gave me one, and it had every NFL team in it.
Man.
He had a good one from like because it's the 80s, so he had one from the 70s.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? He had one from the 70s, bro, and it had like every NFL team, bro. He had everyone. So it was dope, man. Like to me, that was like video game football until they start coming out with it. Because you gotta realize when I started playing video games before Tecmo Bowl, they had this game called 10-Yard Fight on Nintendo that was horrible. You had Tecmo Bowl, then you had a dope game that nobody ever talks about. It's John Elway Football on Nintendo.
Oh,
that was a dope game, right? And then when Sega Genesis came out, you had the original Madden. The first couple of Maddens, they only had like 8 teams. I think the teams that made the playoffs. And they had the Raiders, of course, and they didn't have the NFL licensing deal yet. So they would have like the numbers and the players would be similar. Like Reggie White was 92 on the Eagles and he was great, but it wasn't Reggie White, right? I think Madden 92 is when they got the licensing deal. But Joe Montana football was another haymaker back in the day.
Yeah, that was, man.
Joe Montana Sports Talk Football.
Bro, my first memory of Madden was in '94. I got a Sega Genesis for my birthday. And man, I rocked that Madden 94 like probably for like 2 years, bro. Even when 95 came out, I was still rocking Madden 94, bro. Like I was
a little older, so I could buy my own video games then, right? In 95, 94, 95, I could buy my own shit. So every time the new Madden came out, you was on it. But man, those were the days where you would like hang out over your homie's house, and your cousins would come over, and you'd be rocking all night playing Madden. Yo, bro, you know what the rule was if you was getting blown out? I don't know my brother. 21 drop sticks.
21 skunk. Yep.
Yeah, 21 drop sticks. That's what we used to say. You got to drop the sticks if you get down by 21, yo.
That's right. That's a
fact. Oh, my God, man. Yo, shout out to everybody in the they said Bo Jackson. Yeah, Bo Jackson was OP. You know what's funny? You know what's funny, bro? My best friend is a huge Raider fan as well. And the problem was he always, like his parents, used to buy him everything. So I could never play with Bo when you went over his house. He was definitely playing with Bo. You wasn't getting. He just, the only way you can kind of like refute Bo a little bit is if you get the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
In the defense, and then you get Walter Payton. He was like close, but he wasn't as good as Bo on there. Man, that was mad funny, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat, yo. We kind of careened into another place. The last game of the season. Don't worry. There's much more Wasted and Big Mike morning show to go around. We're going to bring the smack pretty soon, yo. My guy, old school, 1961. An owner in any business who doesn't listen or value their employees' opinion are doomed to fail. Mark Davis needs to listen to the locker room.
That's a fact.
Old school Raider. Now, look, I want to get into the Denver game. We got a whole lot of breaking down of this whole situation, right? But if I'm being honest, right, people say that, but sports is different. You do got to listen to your players to a certain extent, right? Yeah. But also, there's a part of that where I remember the 49ers listening to their players. The 49ers wanted Mike Singletary.
Yeah.
They fought for Mike Singletary, and it didn't work out well. I've seen this for years in the NFL. Yeah. A long time, bro. It's not always what y'all think. You know what I mean? The problem with Antonio Pierce is, and it's not a problem. I love Antonio Pierce, right? The thing with Antonio Pierce is this. There are a lot of question marks that we would have with an Antonio Pierce as head coach that you don't have with Jim Harbaugh. And that's why the fact that Mark Davis is considering it, I've been saying this the last 3 lives, the live I have with Graphic and the live I have with myself. It is not something to where I would have a problem if they brought the man in. I don't have a problem with him going through the interview process. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't, because he does not know football like his old man. So the thing is, he needs to listen to the people around him, and he needs to make the best decision for his pockets. What's going to make his brand go forward? And I have no problem with Mark doing his just due and just diligence. The thing is, he might have to interview Antonio and say, hey, Antonio, what, and take the emotion out of it. Let me ask you guys a question. This is just a simple question. What happens in this interview process if Patrick Graham gets offered a head coaching job and he takes it? What happens if the Redskins hire Patrick Graham?
Yeah.
What happens if the Falcons hire Patrick Graham? Because Black Monday is tomorrow. We will see what happens tomorrow, right?
That's facts.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do you guys want Antonio Pierce without Patrick Graham?
That's a big question right there, because I mean, I think that Patrick Graham hasn't been given enough credit for what's been going on this season. I mean, how many games do we win without Patrick Graham's defense?
Zero, bro. Like, this is the first time. If we hold the Broncos under 20 points, this will be the first time since 2003 that any Raider team has accomplished that.
Yep.
In 2 decades, it's the best defense we've had since 2003. It's 2021 years, bro. And this defense was trending in that direction before AP got the job. The only thing that was holding us back was dumbass Josh McDaniels.
That's a fact. And you know, kind of talking a little bit about Antonio Pierce, we kind of all fall into that whole, because we're old school Raider fans. So we like the whole Raider image. When we see somebody that holds down that image, we put him in a special place, and we put Antonio Pierce in that special place. Like, hey, he's a Raider. He's rolling around in old school cars. He's got the Raider attitude. He's straight to the punch. That's a guy that we like, right? But one thing that we have fell, kind of in a trap for the last 20 years is falling for that nostalgia act, and to me, if we don't win this game, we have to start questioning if we really want to win football games. Is Antonio Pierce another one of those nostalgia acts that we've been getting sold to for the last 20 years? We've seen it with John Gruden 2.0, the Marshawn Lynch, even as recent as Marcus Peters. He's from Oakland, so we're going to let him in. So is this another one of those kind of publicity stunts, those nostalgia acts? Like, I can't hear you, bro.
Hammer. That's Hammer. I was on the air. I didn't really hear what he said. I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, bro.
No, I'm sorry. I Hammerhead. I was just telling him I was on the air and I hung. I didn't hear what he said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So, that's kind of what the whole nostalgia actor behind, keeping Antonio Pierce. Is it a legit hire, or are we falling for another kind of gimmick, a Raider, just because he's a Raider, right? I don't really care. I do care who the coach is. Antonio Pierce is a good guy. I think he's a leader of men. I think he can get the job done, but he's got to find the right pieces behind him. You can tell that he's not really the biggest X's and O's guy, but he's a leader of men. But what we do need on this team is X's and O's. The offensive coordinators, the defensive coordinators. We got to find a way to keep Patrick Graham, but if not, we got to find the top of the line OC and DC if we do keep Antonio Pierce, because that's going to be vital to us in our success for the next couple of years.
Yo, Mr. H. Mr. H says Harbaugh would be a nostalgia act too, though. Nah, I don't think so, bro. Like, bro, there's a lot of substance. Like, what I don't want you guys to do, and this is what we've been doing. I want to kind of get off of the Jim Harbaugh stuff and the AP stuff, like, and trying to kind of go into the game, and we can revisit it, because I know this is what everyone wants to talk about. Yeah. This is just as much you guys' show as my show and Mike's show, right? Yep. This is the thing. Don't act like there's not a lot of substance behind this Jim Harbaugh thing. Yeah. The guy has won everywhere. everywhere. And it's not, listen, bro. You guys said X and O's led us to McD. McD had never been a good head coach.
Yeah.
Don't compare the two. Don't compare this to John Gruden. John Gruden has not been good everywhere he's been. He's not won everywhere he's been. Jim Harbaugh has been good in the NFL, and he's been good in college in several different situations. He was great at Stanford. He was great at San Diego State. He was great with the 49ers. He had the 49ers in 3 straight NFC championship games and went to a Super Bowl and was only there for 5 fucking years. Don't tell me that this is nothing. He's in the national championship game with Michigan. Don't tell me that's nothing. And then people that talk about cheating as if football is some fucking gentleman's club. Well, it's not. Football is a strip club. But I digress. Football is a sport where if you can get an advantage, you take it. And what happens in football is if you get caught out there, you get caught out there. It is what it is. It is what it is. But don't tell me that Jim Harbaugh is just this unsubstantive nostalgia act. This is a guy who was in a national title game at Michigan. He went in and beat Alabama.
Yeah.
When is the last time you've seen a team from the Big Ten beat Alabama? It don't happen very much.
No, you probably won't see it enough for another 10 years.
I think Alabama's like, not Alabama, but the SEC in the last few years is 12-2 versus the Big Ten.
Yep, absolutely. And you know what? That's the difference between an AP and a Harbaugh is that Harbaugh has a resume behind him. So, yeah, he was a former Raider. You can't really necessarily say there's a nostalgia act because we don't even remember Harbaugh being here as a Raider when he was a head coach. I mean, when he was a coach. I didn't even realize it till like recent, to be honest with you, when he was here. You know, it didn't matter to me at the time.
I remember back in the day, man. I remember back in the day.
I think I was maybe too young at the time, but I didn't care. He wasn't a head coach, so I didn't really care who he was. You know, I knew that he was a former NFL player, but he never played for the Raiders. So, you know, that's kind of where I stand with Harbaugh. Harbaugh would be the most one of those picks that you're actually thinking with your brain 100% without like taking into the account like the whole Raider image kind of deal. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I'm saying about Harbaugh as opposed to Antonio Pierce.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Hammer asked me to send a link. We gotta let Hammer pull up for like a couple minutes, man. We're gonna get back to the show. I gotta see what Hammer got going on. Hammer's out in Las Vegas currently right now. So we gotta see what's going on, man. Hammer, yo, we just sent you the link in your Instagram. Pull up for a few, brother. Hammer wants to awake. I'm surprised he's awake. Like it's 7:30, bro.
Man,
like
you ain't doing Vegas right.
Yeah, but this guy, what the F are you doing, Hammer?
Man.
Yeah, Charles Washington. We have been off track before since Mark Davis has taken over this team. Mark has proven he's clueless at picking like Charles Washington, bro. You can't just put that on Mark, bro. And I've been saying this shit for the longest. And I want to break the Denver Broncos down. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. Don't just put that on Mark Davis. Like his father, at the end of his life, put this team in a lurch. Mark didn't take Jamarcus Russell instead of taking Adrian Peterson or Patrick Willis or Darrell Revis or fucking who else came out that draft? Marshawn Lynch. Fucking like bro, like let's let Megatron. The fuck, come on,
missed
bro.
out on Aaron Rodgers. Like
wait, hold on. Joe Thomas missed out on Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Like, come on. It took Fabian Washington or Stanford Route, one of them. Bro, stop it. Stop it. You know, Mark didn't trade for Richard Seymour in the twilight of his career.
Yep.
Mark didn't do that. Mark didn't authorize. Did Mark authorize Hugh Jackson? No, Hugh Jackson kind of took over because Mark didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Hugh Jackson traded for Carson Palmer. So, like, Mark had to, get this team financially solvent. That was number one. You can't compete if you have that stadium. The fact that Mark got a new stadium built, he got something done that his old man never did.
Yeah, it's a fact.
His old man never did. So let's be for real. Let's be for real. Don't just put that on him. The guy had to get us to a new stadium where he can be a billionaire to go out there and sign some of these guys, to get people to want to come in. So now here's the next phase of it. Him going out and getting John Gruden was his biggest mistake. Other than that, I can't find a lot of fault with what Mark Davis has done. And getting John Gruden was a mistake because of nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because of this is a man who was doing television for like 6 or 7 years. He wasn't currently entrenched in football. It's totally different getting a guy like a Jim Harbaugh in here. It's totally different. And I think that if I'm Mark Davis, the safest play is probably to get Harbaugh. For him, for us, emotionally, the team, emotionally, we all, Antonio Pierce. And then the same people who are saying, oh, you guys, fucking in 2 years, if Antonio Pierce flames out, y'all we should have got Harbaugh.
Yep.
I don't want to hear that shit. McDaniels was supposed it was a big mistake, but was it? Everybody makes bad coaching hires, bro. Because if everybody didn't do it, there's only 5 guys in the National Football League that you can hang your hat on. You know they're going to be on their team. Most other teams don't get it right. Until we get it right, you know, like bro, over the last 20 years, Belichick has been a staple. That's not that you no matter what you say, that was never a mistake, right?
Right.
Yo, Mike Tomlin is definitely not a mistake.
Yep.
Right? Andy Reid is definitely not a mistake. John Harbaugh is definitely not a mistake. Right? Kyle Shanahan has been great, but Kyle Shanahan hasn't won a goddamn thing yet. He's been to a Super Bowl, but he's not won anything yet. And guess what? If he don't win this year, people are going to start saying, okay, what the fuck?
Especially with that team they got over there. Yeah,
you're
right.
If Kyle Shanahan don't win this year, bro, people are going to say, what the fuck? We've changed the quarterback. We drafted another one. We've done this, that. What the fuck? We've gone out and got Christian McCaffrey. We go get every, excuse my language, y'all. I know it's early in the morning, but you guys got me fired up now. You got old man wasted fired up. Yo, you guys got to understand that Pete Carroll's another one. Yep. Pete Carroll's another. They got it right. Everybody says they said the Dolphins got it right with Mike McDaniels. Have they? Because you can go from being really good and like broaching or going to the playoffs to being, 6-11. Yep. Very quickly. Few injuries, and then everybody's gonna fire you once you out of town and run you out like a scalded dog. That's Sean McVay's another guy. They got it right. But everyone else is searching for their guy. So for them to go out and to go get a guy, to go get Josh McDaniels, right? This is a guy who was a head coach before. Historically, they've always said that coaches do better their second time around. This is a guy who was a part of a winning culture with the Patriots, the winningest culture in the last 25 years in football. Yep. He's the guy's the closest coordinator to the greatest coach damn near of all time. Mm-hmm. So if you look at histrionics, normally, because, hey, hell, Bill Belichick was a guy who was next to one of the great coaches of all time.
Yep.
Mike Shanahan was a guy who was next to Bill Walsh. Mike Holmgren was a guy who was next to Bill Walsh.
Yep.
Right? We can keep going, bro. We can keep going. Andy Reid was a guy who was next to Mike Holmgren. John Gruden was a guy who was next to Mike. This is how coaching hires work.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes well. Sometimes it doesn't. The biggest mistake that Mark Davis has made is giving coaches too much power and too much of a final cut. And if he does hire Jim Harbaugh, I'm not on board with Jim Harbaugh having final cut over roster decisions.
Agreed. That's always been my problem with bringing Jim Harbaugh.
And that's been my problem too. My problem with Antonio Pierce, if I'm being honest, is we don't know what his philosophy is. We don't know. He's dealing with McDaniel's playbook and Patrick Graham's defense. And what is he without Patrick Graham's defense? What is he without that? Because the offense, we see already what the offensive philosophy is with McDaniels. It don't work.
Yep.
Well, you don't have a trigger man either, but I'm just saying, with all this fucking talent, I don't know, man.
Man, I agree, man. And, kind of wrap this whole thing up, right? We're still in a good position, right? Because the ideal outcome for both sides, say we bring an AP, you could argue and say he's comparable to when the Steelers hired a Mike Tomlin, inexperienced guy, but, he has a pulse. He has a direct pulse in that locker room as far as being the leader of men. You can compare that to what possibly AP can do in the future. Other side, you get a Harbaugh, you could be getting a Pete Carroll, repeating what Pete Carroll did with the Seahawks. We could be in that kind of situation. So either way, we're in a prime situation to potentially see something special here, either side.
That's a fact, my brother. That is a fact. Charles Watson, yup, none of the current roster are hardball players. We know how that crap goes, complete rebuild. No, that's not. See, that's you assuming that.
Yeah.
That's you assuming that. Now, look, I pulled up something last week, and I showed the roster from when Jim Harbaugh took over the 49ers in 2010 to 2011. And besides, hold on, let me call Hammer too, man. Send this fucking guy the link. He asked for the link, then he doesn't pull up. Hammer, what the F is going on here? Hold on, guys. You guys are messing my point up. Hammer, let's see if he's on the air. Effing Hammer. What the F, Hammer? I sent you the link to Instagram. You're on the air.
Bro.
F you, Hammer. You derailed the show and then you leave me hanging.
F you too, old man.
All right, I'm hanging up on you. You pulling up or not?
I'm pulling up.
Yo, Hammer, you will be unceremoniously blocked. Yo, but no. Listen, now I had a graphic that I had. Did I do that short? I don't know. I was pulling up some information about Jim Harbaugh. I think I pulled it up the other day. I was reading it the other day on my show, and I have to find it. Now, 2010, San Francisco 49ers roster. This is the year before Jim Harbaugh got to the 49ers, right? Starting quarterback, Alex Smith. Starting running back, Frank Gore. Starting fullback, 32 years old, 9-year pro, Maureen Norris. So I'm saying that for a reason, right? Michael Crabtree was a starting wide receiver. Josh Morgan was starting wide receiver. Vernon Davis starting tight end. Joe Staley was in year 3 at that point. 26-year-old left tackle. Micah Pate, rookie. Left guard. David Bass, center, 29 years old, 5-year pro. Chale Richal, 2-year, 24-year, wasn't that great. And right tackle, Anthony Davis, rookie, right? That's the offense, right? We're just going to go off the offense. Now, let's go into the next year. The next year, Jim Harbaugh taking over. Starting quarterback, Alex Smith. Starting running back, Frank Gore. Starting fullback, rookie, Bruce Miller. He drafted another fullback because he had a 32-year-old fullback, 9-year pro, that more fit his pro style of offense. We got almost 400 in the room. Get wasted with your brother, wasted, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Starting wide receiver, Michael Crabtree. Starting wide receiver, Josh Morgan. Do you guys see any changes? Starting left tackle, starting tight end, Vernon Davis. Starting left tackle, Joe Staley. Starting left guard, Micah Pate. Starting center, Jonathan Goodwin. They replaced David Bass with a guy that kind of fit what they're doing. And we'd probably have to change our center anyway, right?
Yep.
Starting guard, Adam Snyder. And starting right tackle, Anthony Davis. Yeah. So they changed 2 linemen, right? And then I'm going to go on the defensive side of the ball. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. Isaac Sopoka. Abreu, high stakes, Franklin, man, nose tackle, big fella. Number 30. I mean 30 years old, 7-year pro, right? Justin Smith, a monster. Mm-hmm. Justin Smith was a monster, man. They got him from, I think, the Bengals. Justin Smith was one of the very best in the league, bro. Justin Smith was a monster, bro. Left outside linebacker, Manny Lawson. Now, Manny Lawson was on that 2011 team. He was young. Manny Lawson should have been starting anyway. I remember Manny Lawson because he played at NC State with Mario Williams. Yep. And Manny Lawson was a guy in Madden when he used to change his position and put him at defensive end. He would grow and get a lot better back in Madden back in the day. I love Manny Lawson because he was so fast, right? Takeo Spikes, they went in free agency and brought in one of the very best in the league. Yep. Brought in Takeo Spikes, so that was an upgrade. Patrick Willis, that was still there. No, wait, hold on. Oh yeah, Patrick Willis. This is before Harbaugh got there. Patrick Willis was there. Paris Harrelson is there. Shawntae Spencer, corner, hard-hitting corner. Nate Clements. Remember Nate Clements from Buffalo? Really high draft pick. Was on the 49ers before Harbaugh got there. Reggie Smith was strong safety. Deshaun Golson was their free safety. Sean Golson was a hard hitter, man.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the defense the next year. Ray McDonald, left defensive end. Isaac Sopoka got moved to nose tackle.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Smith was right defensive end because they got rid of Manny Lawson at linebacker and stuff. They had him linebacker. They ran a different. Vic Fangio used a different situation there, right? Because I think Vic Fangio was there with him, right? So Vic was there, right? Ahmad Brooks was brought in. Navarro Bowman was there on the bench the year before. Navarro Bowman became a starter. That was an abject upgrade right there. So that means he improved the roster, right? Patrick Willis was still there right outside linebacker because he was a stud, right? Right inside linebackers. They went to a 3-4.
Yep.
Paris Harrelson was still there right linebacker. Carlos Rogers was brought in. That was an upgrade. Carlos Rogers was a beast. Terrell Brown was brought in. Upgrade. Dante Hittner was brought in. Another Buffalo Bill. They got rid of Nate Clements. They got rid of that big contract. And Deshaun Golston was still their free safety. So all I seen was Jim Harbaugh come in, take the pieces that were good pieces and kept them. He didn't trade any. It was not one upgrade that Jim Harbaugh made that wasn't an actual upgrade.
Yeah.
Name one. Here, everybody.
And then on top of that, like, he's not bringing hardball guys. He's not. This isn't college football like a Deion Sanders where, you know, you could flip 80 players and bring your 80 guys to the team. This is not how it's going to work in the NFL. What you do see from a good coach is taking the pieces that you do have and bringing your scheme and putting them in the right positions. And that's what you saw with that defense, changing it to a 3-4, adding some other guys, moving the guy to nose tackle and rolling from there. And that's what you get from an effective head coach.
That's a fact. Yo, shout out to my brother Darth Raider. You sent that super a long time ago. We had kind of got into the mix about talking about this game. Let me read your super. Appreciate you for supporting the channel and keeping the lights on at Raider Nation Unlimited, my brother. Morning, fellas. I prefer AP, but Jim has an advantage of being in college and is tapped in with talent coming in the NFL for the next couple of years. I put a short up about that. Your brother Wasted was cooking this week. I said the exact same thing. He really has a glimpse into the next 5 drafts because he's been actively scouting. Everybody's like, oh, well, every other team has college scouting. Not like guys who've been scouting players since they were in the 10th grade. It's different. It's effing different. Good morning. Sorry. Sorry, man. Sorry. Joey Cheek, this is such an important decision. With the younger guys we have being locked up, all we have to worry about is Coons. This is our time. QB, D-line, offensive line. We got to get this right. Shout out to my guy, Joey Cheek, man, for being one of the mainstays over here at Raider Nation Unlimited, bro, and over at Big Mike Raiders channel. My guy, Mark High Stakes Carbone. Harbaugh would be the best coach for us since Tom Flores. Haymaker. A haymaker. My guy, Jay Cheeseman. Only the real ones are going to watch today and stand up with the nation. Shout out to those that live and breathe this life. Raiders. My God. Jay Cheeseman with a goated name, yo.
That's some good ass cheese.
That's some good ass cheese. Shout out to you. My guy, Mike Downs. Amazingly, all the Raider channels I listen to, you from Wasted to Chat Sports, etc. No one's brought it up but you. I mean, Mike Downs, that's what I do. I mean, come on, it's waste of talent you talk about, Mike Downs. Yes, my guy, LaRusso Thomas. Shout out to my guy. He says AP is the guy. Shout out to LaRusso Thomas all the way from Twitter. Yo, listen, we have a guy who is currently in Las Vegas. It's 7. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning over there. I have strong objections to the fact that Hammer has gone to sleep. He looks bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. The man has been in the casino gambling his life away. Shout out to the great and powerful Hammer.
Name, Leonard Washington. Where I'm from, little place called None of Your Goddamn Business.
That's right. Leonard,
what's good, bro?
Pop it on
TikTok. Y'all, salute. What up, nation?
What's up, Hammer? What's going on, brother? You said send the link, so warm it up, Hammer. I know you got something to bring to the table. Warm it up.
Not much to bring to the table, but rest in paradise, Jack Skirrick. I got the alert this morning. He had passed away. Former Raider passed away at the age of 64. So Raider in paradise, definitely someone we'll be playing for today to get this win. It's been a blast so far, man, and just looking forward to being out at the tailgate and being at the game with those that are in the chat that are going to be there and the rest of Raider Nation.
They said Hammer's at Circus Circus. No, Hammer definitely will not. Hammer never would stay at Circus Circus.
No, LV turned me away from that a long time ago.
let me tell you guys something. Hammer is a guy who was of a certain ilk. Hammer does not stay in motels. Hammer doesn't drive bullshit cars. Hammer is the man with his pinky in the air. I know you guys don't realize this, but Hammer has his pinky in the air. He's definitely a nobleman of Mount Shieldmore. Hammer will never stay at such an establishment. Shout out to them. Hammer will be at the Woodson event today, though. Hammer, let them know where you're going to be if the nation wants to tap. Do you want anybody to tap in with you today? I don't know.
I really don't. I really don't care for a lot of y'all. No, I'm just joking. No, of course. Like I'll be in J-Lot, of course. And I'm looking at the chat. It's kind of hard when I'm looking on my phone, but I did go to the Woodson event yesterday. Man, that place was packed. The line was stretching down and around every single aisle in there for everybody to try to get the opportunity to get their 25th anniversary edition of the Woodson whiskey bottle. And if you haven't, go on to woodsonwhiskey.com and order that bottle. It definitely has a different taste to it, and it is absolutely amazing. Shout out to the GOAT 209. Shout out to GoGo Power Raider. Shout out to, of course, DJ Mike Scott. I'm probably missing some people, but those are a lot of the guys that I ran into when I was over there yesterday. So much love to them. Just, again, getting ready to head out momentarily. For those that are on IG or follow me on IG, there was a video I put up a little bit. You guys can see you guys will see the big boy toy that I'm pulling up in. So I won't, it won't be hard to find me today.
Man, Hammer, come on. I got to do it too, bro.
Angry man, what you doing here? Man, sit your ass down.
And don't you be on here bragging about your car and all of this nonsense. The F is wrong with you, Hammer. The F. Listen,
Hammer
man.
just left from Wayne Newton's house with Eddie Griswold. Yeah, I can't with you.
Yo, that's right.
Yeah,
Hammer
crazy.
was partying with the great. Is Wayne Newton still alive?
I think he still has a residency out here, bro.
Yo, man. Yo, Wayne, shout out to Wayne Newton with the emulsified face, man. He has a petrified face. Like that guy, like, it's crazy. Wayne Newton has to say what his emotion is because his face doesn't move anymore.
Yeah.
He's like, I am so angry.
I just remembered too. Last night, saw Jim Otto at the M. I also saw Loom just as I was walking out. I think that their curfew must have been like 11 o'clock last night because a lot of guys were walking back into the M like around 10:30 or so. But I saw Loom. Didn't really even have a chance. Like, didn't have a conversation. We just crossed paths, and I just said, "What's good?" That was it. But yeah, it's been an eventful weekend, and again, looking forward to the game today. And we better get this fucking win. I want to see Stiddy on his back at least 5 to 7 times today.
Pause.
Don't start.
I'm not gonna do it. I'm not.
2024. You're not supposed to do that no more.
No, I don't give a shit. Listen. You know me. If it happens, it happens. We had a gentleman's bet that the Pause Olympics would end in 2023. But I'm sorry.
I had to.
Sometimes, I'm just saying, sometimes it's just disgusting work. Hammer, I get it. We talking football. I definitely want to see Jarrett Stidham get hit several times a day. Oh, God, that's terrible, too. I mean, listen, we got to leave that shit in the past. Guys, listen, shout out to my guy, Rudy DeVet Russo, my brother. Sooner or later, you're going to have to listen to the men who put it all on the line on the field. AP can motivate men. All they need is an OC and a quarterback. Hotep and Build. Raider Nation. Shout out to my guy, Rudy DeVet. And listen, I have no problem with it. I have no problem with it. There was a fire comment up here. Marcella Brown. Shout out to you, Marcella Brown. Thank you for supporting the channel. 9 seasons, head coach at Michigan, spanked repeatedly by Ohio State. Michigan was bland with, Harbaugh calling the plays. Had to bring in a play caller. It wasn't until the cheating that Michigan turned it today's winner. I mean, wow. But if I'm putting Jim Harbaugh's resume at Michigan on the line for one game, just beating Ohio State, I can't do that because they've been a consistent winner. And the thing about the Raiders is we got to get to the point to where we're a consistent winner again before we even broach going to a damn Super Bowl. So for me, I'm still okay with Jim Harbaugh, even with you bringing up that point, Marcella Brown. And there are a lot of things in college football that are subjective, right? You can be undefeated and not make it to the title game. You can lose one game. It's a whole lot of shit, man. Recruiting, it's a whole lot. My guy, Mondo Reyes, Hammer, how was the Woodson event? I think that's a little late. Hammer just told you it was excellent.
No, it's all good because somebody else, Mondo had asked another question, and all I can say is stay tuned. We're probably going to have some conversations in the near future, and you guys might be in for a surprise very, very soon.
Oh, so Hammer, you are in trouble, bro. You are in trouble. How the F? I'm putting it up.
Because I've been looking. You know why? And I just saw that in the chat as well.
He is on mute. You're on mute. How the hell don't you pull up on Thor? Sorry.
Bro, that's the first thing you do, bro.
I've really been like low key this entire weekend. It really was supposed to be about today where I will be out and about. So
you did say you were
Thor, listen.
You did say you were gonna do that.
You have to take Hammer's privileges in the Raider Nation Drinking Club away. You don't ever go to Vegas without tapping in with the great Thor.
Again. And Mike just said it. Mike just co-signed because he heard me say it. It was staying low key until today. So
you got to still.
You guys will see me out there today.
You got to check in with Thor.
I got to do it.
God! Wow!
You're an ass. Anyways, let me go. Let me finish getting myself together. I'll probably be out there in another
Love you,
2
brother.
hours.
Love you, brother. Enjoy the game. I know you're going to be bringing that content from the field as only Mount Shillmore can. Look, there are a lot of people that are in this YouTube game. There are a lot of people that are in this YouTube game, but only the guys that are on that mountaintop go to the games, at the parties, at the events, around the players, on the sideline, out there tapping in with the nation at J-Lot. Listen, and Hammer is one of the GOATs when it comes to that. Guys, if you guys have not gone over to Hammer's channel, Las Vegas Raider News Today. Holy moly.
Raider Nation News Today.
Not Las Vegas. Right. Raider Nation News Today. Holy moly's donut shop.
And if how many do you have in the chat right now?
We got almost 500 in the room. Get wasted.
All right.
And go over to Hammer.
For those that are not, please, because we're getting close. We're getting fairly close to 7,500. But those that are in the chat right now, if you're not, please subscribe today, man. If I was lucky enough or fortunate enough to hit 8K while I was out here, I was going to do a special giveaway, but 7,500 I'll be happy with too. So just run it up, y'all. I really appreciate y'all.
But Hammer, I got to brag a little bit before you go.
What's up?
Like I said before, only the guys that are on the mountaintop are at these games. We the only ones who go to all of this shit for the most part. We either there. You can't go a month or two without Shillmore doing something groundbreaking out there tapping in with the nation. And that is the reason why we have the audience we do, and that is the reason why we are going to continue to raise the bar in the coming seasons. Shout out to Hammer, bro, for being a real one in the field. He's going to bring us some real live content today. Get your popcorn ready. Go over to Hammer's channel. Content. Listen, and the thing about it is this, yo, this man lives in New Jersey just like me. He flew all the way. He flew out of all of this snow. So F you for that, right? He flew out of all this snow.
Yeah, I saw the front of the house last night. Holy shit.
Yeah, but dog, subscribe to Hammer. He deserves it. He's hardworking. He is the backbone of a lot of the shit that we do. Give Hammer his praise, man. Shout out to you, Hammer. Enjoy yourself, man. And do me a favor, man. If you can, if you can't, I'd appreciate it, bro. I need you to do me a favor. I'm gonna text you when you out there.
All right.
I need you to do me a favor, brother. Appreciate you, Hammer. Love you, bro. Be safe out there. Enjoy the game. You know what I mean? Take as many pictures and get this shit going, yo. Shout out to y'all, man.
Just win, y'all. Let's go. Raiders.
I got Hammer in the place, man. Peace, Hammer. Yo, so guys, let's get back to it. We're gonna we haven't done much breaking of the game down, right? We've been on for a whole freaking hour. Let me read some of these supers. Jose Raider Martinez. Harbaugh has to be the choice. Love AP, but we can only win so long on emotional drive. Eventually, we need high football IQ. Yo, I cannot argue with that. I can't argue with it. I can't argue with it, man. Yo, my guy Thor's in the place. Go Raiders. Raiders, my brother Thor. Yo, I am a member of the Raider Nation Drinking Club. Big Mike is. Graphic. Listen, I don't know what's wrong with y'all, but y'all need to pull up on the tailgate experience of Raider YouTube. And that is Thor's Raider Nation Drinking Club. I have not been able to get over there in a couple of months because Thor goes on when I'm going to sleep, and then we be doing late lives and stuff.
Yeah, same.
That is no excuse. Thor, yo, next show, let me know. I'm going to be there. Even if I got to take a nap before it. Thor, love you, bro, and I appreciate everything you've done for us. You know what I mean? He's always open his home up to us, man. He's a real one, man. Yeah. I love Thor, bro. And that ain't no bullshit. And I gotta call Thor more, man. That's my dog, man. Appreciate Thor. Man. My dog, S. Dot. Appreciate you. 187 for the $20 holler. Keeping the lights on over here at Raider Nation Unlimited. And over at Big Mike Raider Channel, wherever this super has gone, right? Question for all three guys. Do you think Mark Davis will take the cheaper route by paying AP and the new OC, or a high price right and paying Jim Harbaugh after still having Josh McDaniels and John Gruden on the payroll? He doesn't have them on the payroll. He already paid those guys off.
Yeah.
He paid Josh McDaniels off 2 days after he fired him, and he paid John Gruden off a year ago. So, no. And I don't think it's about making a cheaper choice, it's about making a right choice. Because if you make the wrong choice, that's going to cost you more in the long run.
Yep.
Big Mike, what you think, brother?
Yeah, and I mean, people are talking about, the whole money side of it, but from what I'm hearing, Mark Davis don't care. He don't care about none of that. He's gonna pay whoever he wants to pay top dollar. He can afford a Jim Harbaugh if he needs to, and we'll roll from there.
Yeah, that's a fact. My God, I sub to all of you guys for a good minute, but Wasted is my favorite to listen to. Thank you. I'm my favorite to listen to too. Thank you. I am too. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Let me pop my collar a little bit. Thank you. Yo, unknown Raider guy. Wasted, do you think we'll keep AP? If I'm being honest, if Jim Harbaugh wants this job, he's gonna get it.
Yeah.
If he doesn't pick the Chargers, Jim Harbaugh gonna get this job. 100%. Yeah. That's what I think, man. All right, so let me get to another super. My guy, Joe Capital Ramos. What Harbaugh did for the Winers is something he can easily do for us. They were poverty until he brought them back in with the riches. Salute. My guy, Joe Capital Raiders in a place. That's true. They hadn't made the playoffs in 8 years.
Yeah.
So it's actually a taller order doing what he did over there than we'd have to do here because we just made it. My guy, Esther, I'm already subscribed to Hammer. That's dope, man. Yo, keep rocking my Crosby jersey today. Let's get it. Hammer, bitch slap a few of them ponies out there. Hammer is listed. Yo, Raider Nation Kansas is in the house. Shout out to my guy, Jose Martinez Raider, man. So who's scoring a TD today? Of course, Devontae Adams is scoring today.
Devontae Adams for sure. I got him get one on the board for sure.
My guy, Harbaugh is not going to sully his own rep coming in the door. It's past time we pull the trigger, and it begins with the hiring of a relevant coach who gets it done on all levels. Shout out to my guy, Kenny Mack. Appreciate the donation to whatever channel this went to. Yo, it is all good. Graphic Raider says, I am my favorite to listen to. Yes, Graph, as you should be. Graph, you are a distant second to myself to listen to as far as in my opinion. Nah, yo, shout out to Graph, man. And Graph scored last night. Congratulations, Graphic. Congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. Graphic scored last night, man. I struck out last night, so at least somebody scored.
It happens.
I've been striking out for the last couple of days here.
It is what it is, man.
Fucking Graphic is stupid, yo. No, so let's get into the game, right? Now, the Denver Broncos, right? Denver Broncos have been woeful against the pass. Right? We haven't shown the ability to consistently be able to pass the football. Some people feel like, we are going to be able to light the Broncos up because they're bad against the pass. But to be quite honest with you, the Broncos have Patrick Surtain, Jr. And he's been doing pretty well against Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams said he wasn't ready. He showed he was ready the first game of this season.
Yeah.
But the Broncos in yards per game are 27th in the league. and yards per reception, they're 25th. So they've been getting kind of cooked in the other parts of their secondary. They're a decent defense. You know, the Broncos are in a weird situation because if they win this game, they're relegating themselves to the 16th pick in the draft. And they can go anywhere from 16th to 11th if they lose this game. So if I'm being honest, we know that the Broncos are going to try to draft a quarterback. It's easier to move up from 16 to 11, to be honest with you. Those 5 draft picks are going to cost you probably another pick or whatever. So, you know, Big Mike, man, what say you when it comes to what we're going to do in this game, man? How do you think the Raiders are going to get to this win today if they do get to this win?
You know what? I think that, there's two teams that aren't making the playoffs, but one is actually playing for something. I don't think the Broncos, I'm not going to say that they packed it up for the season. I don't know what's going on in that locker room, but I think a Sean Payton-led team, the fact that he pretty much sat a Russell Wilson is pretty much saying that, these aren't my guys. This guy's not my guy. Maybe he wants to move up a little bit higher in the draft to get, to kind of get his guys for, kind of set himself up to get his guys for the, for the future. So I think the Broncos, I think that the Raiders will light them up in the passing game. I think I'm not saying like a 350 from Aiden O'Connell, but I think the last time we saw a team that kind of gave up in the season, we lit them up, which was the Chargers. I'm not saying we're putting up 63, but we're looking at a defense that might have already packed it up for the season. And you hit them in the mouth once in the first quarter, it might be over. That's kind of what I'm seeing.
Okay, so this is the thing, man. So we say we're 2 teams that are playing for something. Do you think that, the outcome of this game has any relevance to who we pick a head coach? It really doesn't. Like, if I'm being honest, it doesn't, bro. Like, the decision has been made whether he is definitely going to hire bro, or you know what I'm saying? Whether the decision has been made already, bro. This game has so both teams are essentially playing for the same thing, draft position, right? Now, well, we are playing. I know in the mind of the players, they think they're playing to keep AP and keep his job.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
But in actuality, and they know they're behind the scenes, this means nothing. This game really means nothing. This game really, to be honest with you, is for us to retain ownership over the Denver Broncos. But for Sean Payton, it is him seeming like he is a great head coach. That's really what this is about. This is Sean Payton coming in and turning his organization around and having a winning record his first season.
Yeah.
That's really what it is, man. So, like, I think we're kind of both in the same boat, man. My guy, Kenny Mack, he said graphic is burnt out. Shout out to you, man. Yo, my guy, David, appreciate you for the $2 holler, both of y'all, man. We need another defensive TD this week. Yes, that's kind of how we've been winning, right? My guy, Quadre Samsudeen, don't break your arm, LOL, on your BS. Nah, bro. Look, I ain't got to break my arm. Look, wifey's sick. Listen, Hammer Time will be back in full effect. Not playing around. We need stability like I need breath. Can we finally stop it? All of our good seasons come from stability. Clinch Fish Soldiers. Shout out to my brother Quadre Samsudeen, always supporting the Mount Shillmore channels, bro. Appreciate you, dog. My guy David with the $2 holler super sticker. Appreciate you, my brother. Silver and Black Nation with the $20 holler. Appreciate you, bro. Y'all are keeping the lights on in a big way this weekend, man. Appreciate y'all, man. Just want to say thank you to the entire Shillmore team. Y'all bring a voice to a much needed voice to the nation. Also, got my first bowling tournament in 10 years, and I was rocking my Raider colors for our boys. Wish me luck, Nation. Shout out to you, Silver and Black Nation 24. Yo, God bless, Godspeed, and good luck in your bowling tournament, bro. I know you don't need it, man, because that's what we do. Just win, baby, right? He going to go out there and do what he got to do, man. Listen, guys, so, yo, there is a bum that just pulled up in my chat. He is a filthy bum. He is a sack of potatoes. Kingtown Raider. What a effing bum. What the F you been, Kingtown? The F out of here, Kingtown. Before you get unceremoniously blocked. Yo, listen. So, guys, Donkey's game, right? We have Jarrett Stidham starting. Russell Wilson will be sitting down. I want to. Did Russell Wilson? Russell Wilson was on the sideline last week, right?
He was.
He's gonna be on the side. Yo, shout out to Russell Wilson for being a pro. There's some people that we know that would have never done that. They would have went home and put their ball home and cried with their eyeliner. But Russell Wilson is a man. He, shout out to Russell Wilson, right?
There you go.
Also, when we talk about this Bronco game, man, the Broncos, really, to be honest with you, man, they have, like, to be honest with you, Mike, I gotta start. You've convinced me, man. I think the Broncos really have nothing to play for. But Sean Payton is going to try to keep his pedal to the metal, man. So for me, man, how do you see the Raiders winning this football game if we do win?
Inspired ball. It seemed really emotional this week in the locker room. According to shout out to Hondo Carpenter. I've been listening to his podcast. He's the insider, and he pretty much he has the pulse on what's going on with the Raiders. And he said all week that this team has been on an emotional high as far as practice goes. Press conference and things like that. Even saw with Patrick Graham, things were on an emotional high this week, and I think they're going to bring that to the game, and I think that's going to be the edge over the Broncos. The Broncos, there's nothing really pending. There's no movement going on, win or lose with the Broncos. There's really nothing to prove here. With the Raiders, in their minds, the players' minds, the coaches' minds, they got something to play for. They got something to show. One last dress rehearsal to kind of add to that resume to solidify them staying here with the Raiders.
That's a fact, man. That's a fact, man. Big Mike with the haymakers, Joe. My guy, Ruben Russ. Are you scared of the roster turnover if Jim takes over? Every coach has their guys. Jim was known for having big, athletic, freak defensive ends. Kuntz ain't it. Bro, no, I'm not scared of that. Like I just showed you earlier, I don't know if you're watching Ruben Russ. Jim Harbaugh adds to things. He doesn't just totally throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah. So, no, I'm not scared of that.
Nope.
I'm not. Malcolm Kuntz can play. And you go in, and when he had those big athletic, defensive ends, they were available to him.
Yep.
He's not going to come in and get rid of, Malcolm Kuntz and Max Crosby for nothing. This is not John Gruden we're talking about. Like when people talk about the ego and stuff, I think Jim Harbaugh is a very pragmatic guy. I think he's going to do what needs to be done. Yep. You know what I mean? But I don't want to get into that. We're going to get back into this Bronco game. Now, listen, we have Devontae Adams, went over 1,000 yards. He had 2 tutties last week. This can be a big game for how Devontae Adams is viewed. Do you see Devontae Adams going out there and having a big game because of the little rivalry he has with Patrick Surtain II, man?
I think a couple touchdowns is in order for Devontae Adams. I think he's going to get a couple. I think Aiden O'Connell's going to have probably one of the better games of his career so far. And I think this offense is going to kind of show their best game in this game. I got them scoring 28 points this week.
That's offensively. I do too. Yo, my guy David is in a place to be. He said, peace out, nation. Peace out, David. Yo, enjoy the game, brother. Raider up. Yo, he said Hondo is his go-to. Hondo is a go-to for me too. I love Hondo Carpenter. Yeah. Shout out to him. Shout out to everybody in the nation who's putting in the real work and doing the real work. You know what I mean? And I'm not calling nobody out, but yo, there are a few names I'm going to mention right now, right? Of course, my brother Graf.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, my brother Big Mike. Of course, Hammer. Of course, Mitchell Renz. Mitchell Renz has a news channel, and he does good work for the Raiders. He broaches subjects that makes people uncomfortable, but Mitch does good work. He gets information out there. It's fun. It's a college atmosphere. Shout out to Mitchell Renz. Shout out to Mo Moten. Shout out to my guy Hondo Carpenter. Man. You know what I mean? Shout out to Mo. Mo does great work, man. There are a lot of guys out here who do great work. Shout out to Sanjeev.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Shout out to all the guys who's out here that's doing the work, that are real Raider fans. You know what I mean? And if I left anyone off the list, shout out to Tape Don't Lie and all them guys. They do good work. You know what I'm saying? To be honest with you, Wasted don't really watch a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I just really, to be honest with you, I like most of the time, I watch Graf and I watch Big Mike, but to be honest with you, we work together so much. If I don't have to watch Graf, I'm on the show with him all fucking every other day, and you know what I'm saying, every Sunday, and then we get up, we talk all day. So I don't really have to watch these guys. A lot of times I'll put it on just to make sure that I'm giving them the watch hours and they, doing their thing. But yo, shout out to everybody though, man. Shout out to everybody who's doing great work, and everybody who's not doing great work, time will reveal. Right?
That's a damn fact.
Time will reveal. Shout out, yo. Yo, my guy, definitely need to keep and develop Aiden O'Connell on this team. Back up a third string. That's a fact. You can't throw. That's another thing. Can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Aiden O'Connell is a guy who may develop into a starter one day in this league. Is he a guy that I'm going to hang my hat on going forward? No.
Hell no.
It's not like he's C.J. Stroud.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like he's C.J. Stroud. Yo, I just want to say shout out to all the Raider guys. You got me through 2022 and beyond. Now, I've been going through a lot this past year with my job transition and deaths. Thank you, guys. Shout out to you, Josh Wilson. That's what we're here for, man. I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate all your support to the channel, Josh. And I'm glad that we've been able to be that for you.
Man, we in the same boat, Josh, to be honest with you. We in the same boat.
That's a fact, man. Jason 619. Wasted only watch wasted and wasted damn good. You ain't shit wasted. Thank you. Love the show, bro. I know I ain't shit. I know that. My guy, Run Raiders. Listen, man. Mark has whiffed on the last 3 hires. When he gets the player's choice in 21, don't believe he's going to triple up on the same mistake, learn from history. I think these are 2 totally different situations, bro. 2 totally different situations, right? So 2021, right? You had an interim coach. He didn't fire John Gruden, bro. He had to get rid of John Gruden, the league put, but he didn't want to fire John Gruden, right?
He might still be here.
He might still be here, right? Richie B was there, but if we're being honest, we made the playoffs. He moved on from a coach. So what will make you think without us making the playoffs, he wouldn't? And also, we made the playoffs. There was a lot of witchcraft that happened there, right?
Yeah.
Losses, COVID, lot of bullshit that happened.
Yeah.
Right? When we talk about the last 3 hires, the players were not advocating for Jack Del Rio. Mark Davis always wanted John Gruden. He wanted John Gruden when he hired Jack Del Rio. He tried to goad him to coming back. And he got paid all of that money at ESPN and didn't want to leave. And he had to give him all of this kind of shit, right? Yep. The Josh McDaniels hire, to me, was a good move at the time, right? Him going after McDaniels and him and Harbaugh being those guys and Harbaugh not being ready to leave the University of Michigan at that time, that's probably why he didn't do that. It's probably why he didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? If Harbaugh would have wanted to leave the University of Michigan, Mark probably would have hired him last time. Him and Ed Dodds.
Yeah.
So listen, man, I don't think that Mark whiffed. Like they said, the last 3 coach hires. Did he whiff on Jack Del Rio? They went to the playoffs. They didn't whiff.
Yeah.
They developed Derek Carr. They developed Khalil Mack. I don't think that was a whiff. That wasn't a bad hire. I don't think Jack Del Rio was a bad hire. I'm sorry. Is that just me?
No, it wasn't. In fact, he probably should have stayed longer.
You know, I wasn't a big Jack Del Rio guy, but I don't think he was a bad hire. You know what I'm saying? But let me wait. Hold on, my guy DeMarcus Webb. Watching Stroud cook last night was the wasted word of the day. Infuriating. Yeah, but see, listen, guys, we are resigning ourselves to the illusion that the Raiders' bid to move up to second would have definitely been accepted. We don't know that. We don't know that. We don't know that for sure. We know that the Raiders wanted to and they got vetoed, but we don't know we would have definitely been able to trade up to number 2. And listen, what the Texans did was they did some old school Madden franchise shit. They got the defensive player of the year rookie on defense and an offensive rookie player of the year and went to the playoffs for the first year. That's some old Madden franchise shit if I've ever seen it in real life, man.
Yeah, man.
So look, man, when we getting back to the, I keep jumping around because all anybody ever wants to talk about is this coaching stuff, right? And
we got all off season to do that.
We got all off season. We got some other things we can broach before we leave, some prop bets, shit like that. But listen, we got all off season. We might not have all off season, right? But what I know is this: with this Denver game, this Raider defense has been stingy. We have a chance to solidify ourselves as one of the best defenses that have been here. They already are one of the best defenses that have been here in the last 20 years, right?
Yep.
But if we can hold the Broncos under 20, we will be the first Raider defense to do so since 2003.
Yeah.
This is big. This is big. I think we're going to have an inspired team. We're going to have, a Josh Jacobs team. We're gonna have a Hunter Renfrow who was probably seen his last game as a Raider. The sad part is if the Raiders don't re-sign Josh Jacobs, one of the best rushers in the history of the Raiders, are going to finish his Raider career on the sideline. What do you think about that, brother?
Yeah, it's a sad outcome as far as Josh Jacobs goes. Hunter Renfro's got to make a solid case for himself in this game, for the next team, right? He's got to put some work on film, because to be honest, we haven't seen any work on film from Hunter Renfrow in a couple of years. And for him, for his sake, for the next team, he's going to have to do that. So maybe we do see Hunter Renfrow kind of getting a couple more looks in this game as well. But this is almost kind of an end of an era, this game. Josh Jacobs, Hunter Renfrow, we're moving on to a whole different thing. I don't see Josh Jacobs coming back next year. Renfro's definitely gone. So, it's almost a kind of a new era.
Yeah, it's a very look. I'm torn because I feel in a real way, man, that this Raider regime that was here, man, it's like what could have been, right? Yeah. There was a lot of missed opportunities with some of these guys, right? But a guy like Hunter Renfrow will always have my respect. Yeah. I just think that the timeline of the Raiders, the timeline we're on, and the timeline that Hunter Renfrow's on doesn't match up. I think Hunter Renfrow is best for him to go somewhere else. I think Hunter Renfrow was a guy who was a turnover machine in college, and he became that in the NFL. And at this point, looking at some of the young fellas that we got here on this receiving core, receiver is not something that we're missing. I think it's time to move on, and especially financially with the Chandler Jones situation, the Jimmy Garoppolo situation, all that dead cap money that we were clearing from other players. Now we got even more with these two guys. You got to get rid of Hunter Renfrow at this point. You do. Yeah. Now, when you talk about Josh Jacobs, and May Spitfire said it feels like a soft rebuild. And that's a fact, right? But the thing is, it's not really a rebuild, it's a retool, because, just by attrition, you have to replace players all the time. Yeah. You have to replace because of age, contracts, all of those things. That's the National Football League. It's just with the Raiders, when you have guys like Josh Jacobs and Hunter Renfrow, man, it's a hard pill to swallow right off the bat. You know what I mean? Because they're two guys who've been two of our better Raiders over the last 10 to 15 years. And it sucks, man. But look, the business of football is knowing when to get rid of a player a year early as opposed to a year late. The Josh Jacobs thing has run its course. We wanted to bring him back. I was staunchly for bringing Josh Jacobs back. I wanted Josh Jacobs back. He was a heart and soul of his team. But Josh Jacobs played to the back of his stat line. One good year, one okay year. One good year, one okay year. And I'm not willing to sign up for that for $12 million a year. I'm not. And if I'm being honest, running back is a young man's game. I would rather get the next running back to come in here and give us those youthful legs as to dealing with a guy that has a quad injury. Now, Josh Jacobs has been a beast, but it gets to a certain point where running backs, once they get into that year 6, year 7, they start careening off the cliff of their production. And I don't want that to happen to the Raiders. And I want that kind of money tied into JJ. I would rather invest that money to develop the trenches of this defense and offense and keep the skill position players we got on the outside and go and try to get our next quarterback and next running back, brother.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. I agree.
Wait a minute. I saw a dope comment. Let me get back to that, man. Big Mike wasted. Long season, but we overcame adversity. Yeah. Let's go out there and beat the orange, paint off the donkeys. Get your popcorn ready, clipboards, pen and paper. Here we effing go. Shout out to my guy, McLuffy, always with the haymakers. My guy, Ruben Russ. Look out for Lloyd Cushenberry III. Solid young center who's a free agent center this year, 6'4", 315.
Let's get it.
Yeah. Denver wide receivers could request trades. Also, we don't need them guys.
No,
we don't. And to be honest with you, I'm just of the thought process. If the Raiders do move up and get a quarterback first in this draft, I would like to see them outfit that wide receiver with young weapons that can grow with him. Yeah, that's what I would like. You know what I'm saying? Now, it all depends on how this thing works out. Are we losing Devontae Adams? Do we keep Devontae Adams? Those are all things. But I don't really want to see us go out there and spend free agent money on wide receiver again. I would rather draft my guys if I'm going to be honest, man.
Yep.
Yo, somebody just said something about Sean Keeter. Stroud Cook. You realize AOC similar numbers playing behind a crap O-line, and we call him crap against the same deep. Bro, first and foremost, we don't have a crap offensive line, Sean.
Yeah.
We have the 10th ranked offensive line in football. Now, the eye test will show you that they're probably a top 15 offensive line, but statistically, they're a top 10 offensive line. They're not a terrible offensive line, bro. You want to see a terrible offensive line? Go see the New York Jets and the New York Giants. Those are terrible offensive units. And they got talent, but they're not playing well together. Yeah. That whole they're a bad offensive line is a bunch of abject crap. Be honest with you, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they pretty much played to what we expected this year. I mean, you know, we knew that we didn't have the elite O-line. Maybe we thought they'd take the step forward to be that elite O-line, but they played exactly the expectation. So, and I have no problem with them.
Brave Raider. Shout out to my guy, Rick, man. Another bowling aficionado. Wasted a Big Mike. Good morning, Kings. Broncos are going to be put in the Broncos stable and stamp them with the Raiders logo and name on that Raiders bitch. I don't know. I may have read that wrong. I'm sorry. Let me go back and read it again. Wasted a Big Mike. Good morning, Kings. Broncos are going to be put in the Broncos stable and stamp them with the Raiders logo and name him the Raiders Bizach. Shout out to my guy, Brave Raider, man. Daniel Kim. One of the keys to winning is making sure we keep Stidham in the pocket. Gap discipline will allow our guys to eat on the line in the secondary. One thing about Jarrett Stidham is always one play away from getting knocked out of the game. Stiddy's a dog. He's the guy that we should have kept last year, right? We probably would be in a playoffs if we would have kept him. I like Jarrett Stidham, right? Oh, but Jarrett Stidham is a guy who was he's willing to put his body on the line. He knows he's playing for his life. He has nothing to lose. He's not going to be playing, he's not going to protect himself. So Jarrett Stidham's a guy that I expect from Max Crosby and Malcolm Kuntz to have a game. Now, look, we didn't put up the damn injury report, man. The injury report. What kind of morning show are we this morning? Injury report, Raiders, Broncos. Big Mike, you got it. Access to the chat, right?
Say what? Yeah, I do.
Yeah, yo, warm it up there, bro.
There we go. We pull this one up. The $10.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
Let me see. Do I got? You know what? I don't have. Wait, hold on. Oh, there
Wasted and Big Mike. Big Mike and Wasted. I honestly believe Parham is a great second string center, only because he can't push at all. Also, James and Van Roten. Wait, hold on.
James and Van Rotten meet.
Yeah, I didn't want to read that. You read that. Also, James and Van Rotten should totally be replaced. S-Dot, I totally agree with you, brother. I totally agree with you, bro. But that shit is terrible. Terrible, S-Dot. Tweaking, yo. My guy, S-Dot again, yo. How would y'all address the interior line so that we can have all three guys look like left guard from the Eagles? Bruh, look, man, I would definitely, in the mid rounds of this draft, I would address the trenches, man. Like second, unless an elite player falls in the second round, if we get a quarterback, my second round and third round pick, if we don't have to get rid of those to move up to get quarterback, like say for instance we get Michael Penix Jr., right? Mm-hmm. And I got my second and my third round pick. The first thing I'm doing is drafting a guard in the center.
Yeah, I'm
going out in free agency. You know what? I can live with Parham. If I draft a guard in the center, I'm cool. Center. Yeah. And what I would do to address the defense is I would go in free agency and spend my money there in free agency this year. That's what I would do. I would make this, like last year was a strictly defensive draft. I would pour my money into the offensive line of this draft and in the interior defensive line, because we're going to be losing some guys over there. We're going to be losing Bilal Nichols and guys like that. But also we got to see if we could let some of the guys that we drafted last year develop as well. We got a lot of young pups right there that didn't get a lot of play. Byron Young and all those guys are coming back. So if those guys are any good, let's see what they have before we go out there. But I would probably go out there and go take a big swing at a defensive tackle in free agency. That's what I would do.
Yeah, I think we got to hit a home run in free agency. Even with one big splash move, like picking up a D tackle will really change things up for us.
Yeah, Webb asked a dope question. I gotta find it, yo. Hey, Webb, DeMarcus Webb, do me a favor, yo. Wait, Wasted and Big Mike. Would you overpay to sign Chris Jones if he's open to leaving KC? Overpay means anything over $25 million. Yes, and yes. I would. That's me. I agree. Chris Jones, now that whole, narrative that we don't have anybody in the middle defense is gone.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't make his contract that long either. I would make it a 3-year deal. Right around the time when he starts tailing off physically. Chris Jones is a young player. Big Mike, could you pull up how old is Chris Jones at this point? He's been in the league like 4 years now? 4 or 5 years?
He might be older than that. Hold on, let me pull it up. Chris Jones, KC. Let's see.
Everybody says unleash that monster, Dalton Wagner. Listen, man, Dalton Wagner is a guy that is. It reminds me of Raiders past, like Bruce Almighty. Remember Bruce Campbell? You know what I mean? Bam Olaseni. I think Dalton Wagner might be good, but we don't know. I like the fact that we have him on a practice squad because at the very minimum, he could be a good backup for us if he's no good. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, I agree. Chris Jones is 29 years old.
So Chris Jones, 29. So how many years he been in the league? 29. 2-3 year deals right around the time. The bigger guys can play a little longer. Yep. What's he been in the league? About 4 or 5 years?
He's been around for a minute, bro. Since 2016. So this is, so
okay, 2024. So damn. So he's been around longer than that. Listen, I had a brain fart. My bad. But yes, I would definitely take a swing at Chris Jones. There are not 4 other guys at his position in football that you can put over him. There's not 4 other guys. So yes, and the reason why I would overpay for Chris Jones singularly is because Chris Jones is a guy that will effectively weaken the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So you got the best of both worlds. It kind of reminds me of when we brought in Rodney Hudson.
Yeah, I agree. 3 years would be perfect, bro.
3 years would be perfect. Yo, my May Spitfire. I got Jaden Daniels, Byron Murphy II, Tyler Guy, and Zach Zenter in the mock draft. Got a lot of mocks. Seem to have us getting Penix Jr. though. Be happy for both. Yeah, I think Michael Penix Jr. if he wins the national title or has a great game in the national title, I'm gonna be honest with you, we're gonna have to take a swing to move up to get him. Shout out to Lunatez Pale Moon, our resident Cowboy fan. Good morning, Raider Nation. Our friendly neighborhood Cowboy fan is in a place, man. Yo, shout out to you, man. Devastator is in a place, yo. Every year, each team will always improve each position. The Raiders will definitely try to improve at QB next year for sure. No way in hell do the Raiders, regardless of coach, keep Aiden O'Connell. Yeah, and that's a fact, bro. It's never happening, bro. My guy, Isaac Caron, we got a new member. Is it over at my channel or yours, bro?
It's yours. It's yours.
It's mine. Well, shout out to you for joining the Wasted Talent Army, Isaac Caron. I always thought you were a member already, but I appreciate you for being a part of the Wasted Talent Army. Shout out to my guy, Isaac Caron, man. Yo, I saw Carl's video of the Colts last game of the goal. We are talking about the goal line. I was completely livid because I've been seeing this horse shit all year, except for the Chargers game with James replaced. Yes, I shouldn't have pulled that up, but because I didn't want to go back to the Chargers game. But yes, it pissed me off too, man. Yeah. Yo, but listen, guys, we got a few more things we need to broach, right? We got the injury report. Big Mike, you got the injury report pulled up, brother? Or can I? You want me to do it?
Let me see. I'll pull it up. Let me see. 1 second.
I got it over here, man. I think this was from a couple of days ago? Nope, yesterday. So look, yesterday, the injury report for the Denver Broncos. Cortland Sutton, concussion, limited participant in practice yesterday. So we don't know if he's going to be playing, probably wouldn't. Michael Fabroni, long snapper, personal reason, did not participate in practice. He's probably going to play. Mike McGlinchey with his ribs will be out. Mike McGlinchey, starting right tackle, will be out. Riley Dixon, the punter, did not participate. Personal reasons. This just seems a little weird. The long snapper and the punter both out for personal reasons. I mean, are they trying to cook the books over there and try to lose this game on purpose?
I'm telling you, bro. That is exactly what I was talking about.
Baron Browning, concussion, out. So that's he's probably not going to play. Yeah. Josie Jewell, back, limited participant. Mike Parcell, defensive lineman, did not participate, rest, but he'll probably play. Tight end, Chris Manhertz, out. He's not going to be playing. And Marvin Mims, wide receiver, limited participation in practice. So he should probably be playing. The Raiders, Josh Jacobs was ruled out with his quad. Jermaine Illuminor was a limited participant, so we don't know if we're going to get a Jermaine Illuminor special. Thayer Munford is out with his knee. He's doubtful. He's probably going to be out. Andre High-Stake James is a limited participant because of his ankle. Brandon Faison is questionable because of his illness. He should be playing. Malcolm Kuntz, limited participate in practice. He should be playing. Jakob Johnson is questionable, and Michael Mayer's out. So not much has changed on the Raiders side of things. But so man, what do you think? Do you think that the Donkeys are going full Tanky McTankenstein, bro?
The biggest one that really sticks out is McGlinchey being out on that right side. The backup is gonna have a long day against Max Crosby, bro. Like there's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. Crosby would have 3 sacks in this game. He should at least.
That's right. Max Crosby's going crazy. Black Cell Sports Talk with the $5 holla. What's good, brothers? Didn't get there. What didn't get to there? Y'all happy New Year's. Blessing. Song Mamba Year. Let's go. Raiders smash the Donkeys. Shout out to our guy Black Cells, man. How you been, Black Cells? Tell y'all. He said, I forgot to tell y'all. I know, bro. It's all good, man. I fucked that up. That's good, on me, bro. I've been doing this way too long not to just correct you in my mind instead of just read it. Yo, wait, can you speak on Penix's past injuries? He's had some bad ones. Yes, Michael Penix has had issues with both knees. It ended his career at Indiana. Michael Penix was super, super, super electric at Indiana. I remember when he came in, he was electric, but he's still just as electric. The thing about it is, Elite Med staff had brought this up last week. Frank Gore also had 2 knee injuries before he came to the NFL, and that worked out good. I am, because Michael Penix is not a running quarterback, he's a mobile quarterback. He's not a running quarterback. So he's a guy that moves in the pocket, can get out there and get outside of the pocket and throw the football. I'm not concerned about that. If I can get a Michael Penix and stay in pat, if I'm picking at 11 and I don't have to move up, that's nothing but right for me. Michael Penix is eons better than Aiden O'Connell.
What people don't talk about is how that ACL injury may have saved his career. It turned him into that pocket quarterback where he was not taking off. Like before when he was at Indiana, he would just take off. He was one of those guys that take off first. Now, because he has the ACL, he's a little bit smarter. He's thinking more, brain wise and sitting in the pocket, and he'll take off when he needs to. But since he's been at Washington, he's had almost 10,000 yards passing in 2 years. So, that whole injury thing, to me, it just doesn't seem like much of a concern, especially if the doctors clear him.
If the doctors clear him and his medicals check out, I'm on board. I'm on board anyway. Right now, we got to look at too. Also, is Mike Francesa, the great sports pope himself, one of the greatest radio hosts ever in the history of sports radio. Mike Francesa would say, Penix is a window thrower. He's a window thrower. He throws the windows like Drew Brees. He's a window thrower. Yo, shout out to my guy, Isaac Haran. Salute to you, wasting the Big Mike. My bag. I had to add my car, brother. Oh, no, come on, Isaac, man. You ain't listen, bro. I appreciate everything, brother. I just know you were a member, so I'm glad that you back, brother. Had to add my car, brother. Happy New Year's. Let's get this dub. A lot of work to do this off season. Looking forward to it. Shout out to my brother, Isaac Haran, man. Appreciate you for supporting the channel as always, brother. My brother, T. Severe's in the place. Penix had injuries to his shoulders as well. He also has a little bit of an awkward throwing motion. I see that too, T. That looks like it could lead to an elbow or shoulder issue down the line if he doesn't adjust it. Now, that little hitch in his pen is one of the reasons why when I was evaluating Michael Penix, I started to move him down my board. I had Michael Penix Jr. as my number 1 prospect last year over Caleb Williams.
Same.
But Caleb Williams doesn't have that weird throwing motion, right? But at the end of the day, no matter where the Raiders draft, it is up to whoever takes over to move up and get the guy. Yeah. We can't bargain basement shop like with the coach thing. We've never bargained basement shop with coaches. But what we bargain basement shop for is quarterbacks and moving up in the draft. This is the year the Raiders be the Mavericks that we are, move up and get the guy that they want, man. No matter what.
Can I stick up for my lefties out there, man? I'm a lefty too, right? And a lot of people really they want to attribute that awkward throwing style is because they're not used to seeing a lefty throw the ball, and it just looks weird to them on TV. he does have an unconventional type of throwing motion, but if it was a right-handed quarterback, nobody would be talking about it. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
You know what I mean? So it's the fact that he's left-handed, so that we kind of have to. Okay, yeah, he needs to be cleaned up, but there's other quarterbacks out there that has a herky-jerky type of throwing motion, and nobody talks about it either.
That's a fact, Big Mike. My guy AC Ybarra in a place. What it is, wasted Big Mike. Raiders defense will leave a whole hero sandwich on the back of Jarek Stidham. Book it. Shout out to you, brother. Yo, man. Yo, the snake was a lefty. That's right.
Yep.
The snake was one of the great lefties. Yo, my guy Isaac Randolph. I saw a video that flipped him as a righty. And you right, Big Mike. Same thing, kind of like with Tua. That's a fact, bro. Shout out to my brother Big Mike, man. Yo, Lafayette, very similar to Stroud. I watched both in college. Yes, they are. They're window throwers. They're guys who throw their guys open. And that's worth his weight of gold at the next level. You know what I'm saying? So there I am. My guy, Raider Reaper. Would you take Jazon Newton at 11? If Jazon Newton is there at 11 and my quarterbacks that I want are gone, yes.
Yeah.
He's my number one guy that's not a quarterback.
Yep.
To be honest with you, right? He's my number one guy that's not a quarterback. Now, if we do miss on Jaden Daniels, if we miss on Caleb Williams, if we miss on Drake May, and if we miss on Michael Penix, which is wholly possible, Jazon Newton is the guy you take.
Yeah.
And then you go out there and you go get like a J.J. McCarthy or something in the second round.
Yeah. I would even say this, man. I know that you probably won't agree because Bo Nix is your guy. But if Bo Nix is there and Newton's there, everybody else is gone, I'm going with Newton at 11.
No, I'm going with Newton too over Bo Nix. I like Bo Nix. What I'm saying is Bo Nix should be in the comp. See, listen, when I was pumping the Bo Nix train was when I thought we were going to finish in like the low teens.
Yeah.
Now, when we lost the game to the Colts, that changed, right? Because now we're probably going to be picking 11th and we could possibly pick it in the top 10. I'm not taking Bo Nix in the top 10. I'm not doing it because I can get better value for that pick in the top 10. If I don't get a quarterback, Bo Nix and McCarthy are two guys where I can live with either one of those guys. Do I think Bo Nix is probably a little more seasoned than McCarthy? Yeah, but McCarthy and Bo Nix are kind of right there. I think that they're a step below guys like Michael Penix and Caleb Williams and Jaden Daniels. They're not. I don't think that they're below Jaden Daniels. I just think that Jaden Daniels is such an electric athlete that you gotta kind of get a guy that's that. It's kind of the trope that you got with Anthony Richardson, even though Anthony Richardson is a super freak of nature because he has the weight on him already.
Right.
Anthony Richardson was a swing that you gotta take because he's so special.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even if he's underdeveloped, he only played 1 year. That's a swing you gotta at least try, especially at quarterback, because if you can develop that, that is a special talent that you have at that point. It's kind of the same approach that the Queefs took to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes was looked at as a specimen. You know, he did light it up at Texas Tech. Don't get me wrong. He's a thrower of the football. But that's the way I view Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is definitely a distant fourth to me with the rest of these guys. I think Penix is over him. I think Jake is over him. I think Caleb is over him. And I think the kid Drake May is over him. You know what I'm saying? Drake May is just a stud.
Yeah.
Stud.
People aren't talking about him enough, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they're not because I think it's a lot of where he plays football at. He's in the ACC.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not like they were beating Clemson. He doesn't have a lot of big wins under his book. They weren't beating Florida State. They were getting stuck. Like, so that's a lot of what goes into that. My guy, Richard Twitchell, with the $10 holler. Appreciate you, my brother. Supreme and Big Mike. Word is Harbaugh is the next head coach with Brady being at practice on Friday. If that's the case, do you think we end up with JJ? Raiders. We possibly could be. See, guys they make this mistake, right? They think that just because a guy coached you in college that they're definitely going to bring you in, right? Now, look, I'm going to give you an example. When Jimmy Johnson left the University of Miami, right? Did Jimmy draft Troy? He didn't draft Irv because Irv came out in 87, I think, right?
Yeah, I don't think he drafted Troy Aikman either.
Troy Aikman was the number one pick. No, I think he did. I think that was his.
That may have been his first pick.
That was his first pick.
Yeah,
that was his first pick. Jimmy Johnson drafted Troy Aikman, and he drafted Steve Walsh later in the draft. And a lot of Aikman's rookie season, Steve Walsh got a starter too, I think. It's a long time ago, guys, so my memory's fading. But like in 89, 88, 89, Steve Walsh got some starts. I don't think that Jimmy Johnson, would have he didn't take Steve Walsh number one. Like college coach, when they come over here, they're not going to take the guy that they had like number one. Like look at Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer went and he took Trevor Lawrence, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? He didn't go and get the Ohio State quarterback. So just because JJ's there, if there's a better prospect, there's probably guys that Jim Harbaugh probably wish he had instead of JJ McCarthy. But him coming out and saying that that's the best quarterback that ever played at the University of Michigan, it's not really saying a whole lot.
Yeah.
To be real with you, it's not like, Tom Brady didn't have a stellar college career in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? So, like, come on, man. My guy, S. Dot. If the Broncos go the chill route, then they're going to get waxed and shellacked all over the field. Can't wait to see Meredith come in and open better holes than Parham. Burglar and Van Rotten meat. Disgusting. Disgusting. You tricked me into saying it, S. Dot. Thank you for $10, yo. Damn it, S. Dot. Okay, see you later. I think with the talent in this year's draft, especially at QB, we need to give up whatever it takes to get an elite QB in the draft. I don't know why, but I have a feeling Caleb Williams will be a Raider. I had that feeling too, but that's going to be a long, long stretch to get up there, boy. I'm going to tell you that right now. Severe Raider. Jaden Daniels is a better runner than AR and a much better passer than AR. I've seen him make some high-level throws in the SEC and some very tight windows. Yeah. I mean, look, man, these are two SEC studs, right? But the one thing about Jaden Daniels is, as opposed to Anthony Richardson is a big dude, man. He's a that's a full-grown man right there. Jaden Daniels has had more time under center than Anthony. Anthony Richardson is a raw prospect. But you saw early this year playing with the Colts, he's going to have to develop because when they figure him out, he's not going to be – I mean, you see he got hurt, right? There's a reason why he got hurt. But Anthony Richardson, if he learns how to throw the ball a little bit, is a man amongst boys in the National Football League at quarterback. He's like a Cam Newton level prospect as far as, athleticism, not as far as throwing the ball because Cam Newton could sling that thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. My guy, Isaac Haram with the $10 holla. Wasting and Big Mike. Thoughts on Brady being at Raiders practice? The last one seems a little off to me. I think we let JJ walk. Raider Nation for life. Yeah, they're going to let JJ walk. Brady being at practice isn't a little off to me because he's going to become minority owner of the team. Mark Davis says he wants that third guy in the room. Coach, GM, third football mind. I think Brady's probably the third football mind.
Yeah.
I think so. And Mark Davis, people are talking about Bill Belichick being brought in. Bill Belichick hasn't been fired yet. If he does get fired, if Mark interviews him, I hope he takes a page out of his old man's book and picks Bill Belichick's brain. Al used to interview everybody to pick their brain. So maybe that's what it is. But I don't want to see them hire like a damn near 70-year-old Bill Belichick, man. Rudy the Vet, High Stakes Russo, my guy, with the $5 holla. Appreciate you for supporting the channel, my brother. Drake May is the truth. Yes, Drake May. Listen, man, when you go to the Underwear Olympics, Drake May is going to go crazy. He is a guy who, I'm telling you, he can sling that ball. He is the prototypical golden arm quarterback. Let's just call it what it is. He is what it is. He is a guy like a John Gruden probably would take number one.
Yeah.
Real rap. Probably might take him number one. I'm going to be real with you, man. My guy, Alex D. Shout out to you, brother. Should Quinn Ewers declare for the draft or go back to Texas? Bro, I'm going to be honest with you. Quinn Ewers has not looked great.
No, he didn't look good against Washington. I mean, he had a spurt like towards the end of the game where he looked good, but he needs some more developing. He needs to stay in college for a year.
Look, I see Quinn Ewers as a guy, man, who he's damned if he do, he's damned if he don't, right? If he goes back to college, there is no guarantees that Quinn Ewers would be the guy who's starting next year because, listen, you do have Arch Manning there. Now, the only thing about Arch Manning is, do we know how good Arch Manning actually is, better than his last name? Arch Manning does not pass the eye test for me.
He doesn't. And the last time I saw him throwing the ball was spring practice last year before his freshman season. He couldn't even throw out route. He was struggling throwing simple passes. Like, I don't know, man. He was more of a dual threat in high school. I really don't know what he can do in college. I haven't seen too much of him, but last I saw him, it didn't look good.
Yeah, that's a fact, man. Yo, somebody's talking about Cam Ward. Cam Ward is the guy that if the Raiders were to get Jazon Newton, I would hope that they would take a flyer in the second round.
Yeah.
For real, man. I will hope. Or if Bo Nix is available, then that's what I'm saying. My guy Isaac Haran. Shout out to the Raider family in the chat. Hoping y'all have a new year, a great new year is off to a good start, and hope y'all have a great year. I fucked that up. I'm gonna read it the way he said it because I just like you guys gotta realize sometimes I just glance at stuff and just spit it out. I don't really read it. Shout out to the Raiders family in the chat. Hoping y'all New Year's off to a good start. Raiders, my dog, man, my guy T Severe. Bigger guys have a false sense of security and more apt to lowering their shoulder and taking hits because of their bulk. Those add up. Daniels doesn't take unnecessary contact because of his frame, but also because of his frame, he could be out though, T. You want to see those guys that are felt guys at quarterback. You want to see them kind of develop and put on a little muscle. I remember that was a lot of the trepidation about Aaron Rodgers when he came into the league. And Aaron Rodgers put in the work and got a little bigger. He's always been a slim guy. Aaron Rodgers is a guy where he probably messed his throwing motion up had he got bigger. But, I see Jaden Daniels of that kind of a ilk, kind of a slimmer guy. You know what I mean? Jordan Love kind of guy, man. Yo, that's definitely, we already said that. Rest in peace to Squarick, man. But, yo, let me ask you a question. RJ, good question. What happens to Champ Kelly if we get Harbaugh? If we get Harbaugh, Champ Kelly's probably not our GM. Unless Mark hires him first.
Yeah, I really hope they keep Kelly. I really do.
Bro, I'm going to be honest with you, bro. I like Champ. But if they get Ed Dodds, I'm okay with that.
I mean, that was one of my favorites before. So
yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Josh Wilson, Drake May is not mobile enough for my liking. My dark horse is Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler is a guy you take a flyer in the third round. He's a guy that would probably lose the job. He wouldn't beat Aiden O'Connell out, I don't think.
No.
He's too raw. I mean, I like Spencer Rattler. He's a guy that's a boomer bust guy. I am of the mindset if Spencer Rattler is available in the 5th or 6th round and you move back into the 5th or something, bring him in too. Shit, why not? Yep. My guy T Severe, Cam Ward, no higher than the 3rd. Watched him at Washington State. He has talent, but the 2nd is too rich for my blood. Look, hey man, I can see that, bro. Would rather take Rattler over Cam Ward. Okay, so guys, F all of that. Let's get into it. Yo, Freak Money, F that. If AP is the guy, then Jaden Daniels, like your life depended on it. Freak Money, I feel you there because there's that connection there, right? Yeah. But at the end of the day, if whoever the coach is, if you got a chance to get Drake May, Caleb Williams, you're taking that 10 times out of 10, man. I'm sorry, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, bro. But Big Mike, we've been going for 2 hours, man. It was 1 in the afternoon. I can't believe we've been going this long, bro.
That's
Big
crazy.
Mike, the games are about to start, man. Guys, we love all of y'all. This is the last wake up with Wasted and Big Mike of the season. Big Mike, do you have any parting words, man? I think I'm going to get out of here and go grab something to eat, man.
Yeah, that's about it, man. I got to grab something to eat too. Devontae Adams for a score real quick. I got the score 28-10. I know you don't like doing that, but I think the Raiders are going to win this one in dominating fashion.
Yes, man. Yes, brother. I have the Raiders winning this game as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to give a score because I don't like us to lose. Look, God bless every single one of y'all who have been rocking with us for 2 hours. Thank everybody for all the support, man. Please, if you guys are not, a part of, what's going on, hit that subscribe button. $5 holler from Jack Kenner over there at Big Mike's, man. Appreciate the support to the channel. Salute Big Mike, Wasted in the Nation. I see John Gruden as the 3rd guy. TB12 will have us say TB12 already has Mark's ear. I disagree with that because I feel like if Gruden made better decisions, we wouldn't be in this position. I think Tom Brady being at that ownership table is probably going to have more say than John Gruden. I'm going to be honest with you, man. Yeah, but yo, we're going to get out of here, man. It's been a hell of a ride. Yo, we're going to be rocking all off season. Planet Raiders will be getting back on track. We're going to be doing some things at Planet Raiders. We're probably going to be redoing the site, but we definitely have some more writers. Anybody who wants to participate, email me at wastedtalentraiders707@gmail.com, yo. And remember, yo, there is no off season. It's Raiders all year. Like my man Alpha Mega say, it's never any off season with Mount Shieldmore, yo. Y'all have a great, great effing day. We are out of here. And y'all know what I always say.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
You damn right. The stakes have never been higher this season, bro. Let's get this dub. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all have a great day.